Hey guys, and welcome back to the JMS channel. Today, we're going to be talking about the Jake Paul and Tyrone Woodley fight that happened this weekend. But before we get into it, guys, 99.9% of you guys are not subscribed to the channel. And doing the math, that's a lot of people who aren't actually subscribed. But yeah, now that you guys have gone down and subscribed, let's just get right into it. So I'm sure you're all aware of the fight result that happened this weekend, but newsflash if you don't. Jake Paul won, but this result of the fight didn't really surprise me too much because literally 5 minutes before the fight began, I predicted that it would go all 8 rounds, and my prediction in my head before the fight was that it would go all 8 rounds. Jake Paul would win the majority of the first few rounds, and then Tyrone would pick it up due to Jake never really going into a full fight, going all the way through without a knockout, and I just thought Jake was going to gas out. But actually, from watching this fight, I was actually a lot closer to my own prediction than I thought I was. Because by the time the first round started, Jake looked like a boxer. He looked like a good boxer. And then we went into the second round and he still looked like a boxer. And then we made it to the third round and you could see Jake already losing energy and throwing haymakers and losing technique. And then once we got into the fourth round, he threw so many haymakers, and also we can't forget in the fourth round when Jake Paul just slipped. Well, it didn't even get slipped. That should have been a knockout. In my opinion, it should have been a knockout, and if it was a knockout, looking at the scorecards, it would have been a draw. So in a way, I was happy that it wasn't really a knockout, because I genuinely, I'd love to see them fight again, but I don't want to see it end in a draw. But yeah, about Jake Paul being a whole boxer, I even said this in a Twitter response up here, that this really showed Jake's true ability in boxing. And as I said in that Twitter, if you didn't read it, I basically said that Jake Paul has really shown his true ability and where he is as a boxer. And I think, looking at his hit list, looking at his kill list, or whatever it was called, he's calling out Canelo. He's calling out Canelo. But yeah, honestly, if Jake goes into that fight, I think he knows now from that. I think he should reflect on it, and he should, in my opinion, he should stick to fighting smaller fighters or new coming boxers. Like, if he fought Tommy Fury, I would actually think it's a good fight, because Tommy Fury, he's a boxer, he won his fight. Jake Paul, he's a new boxer, and he won his fight. If those two go together, it will actually be a good fight for Jake. Even if Tommy is that bad, it will be a good fight, because it's shown Jake as a boxer. He can't go and fight Canelo. He can't think about Conor McGregor. He can't go fight Floyd Mayweather. He can maybe fight Usman and Nate Diaz, but that's basically it on his hit list. But yeah, like I was saying earlier, I wasn't surprised that he won, and like I just said now, he should really fight smaller fighters. He shouldn't go to Canelo just yet, and he should fight Tyrone Woodley again. I think that would be an interesting fight, and I think on that fight, take my word for it, Tyrone Woodley will win that fight. Because Tyrone Woodley has had a fight now, and he knows how Jake moves. You could see in the first few rounds, he was testing out Jake on what he did. But now, if Jake fights Tyrone again, Tyrone Woodley knows how he fights, and he knows what he does wrong, and we've seen what he does wrong. So now he can go back, watch that fight, and see what he can do. Like how Tyrone Woodley, when he knocked out Jake, he didn't push Jake. He just stood there and stared at him. If Tyrone pushed him that whole next round, if he wasn't saved by the bell, it would have been game. It would have been Jake Paul would have fumbled the bag, 3 knockouts, Tyrone Woodley would have won by TKO. And in my opinion, I am excited for Jake Paul's next fight. As much as I hate to say it, Jake Paul is looking like he's gonna go somewhere. But yeah, that's the end of today's video. I'll see you a lot next time. Peace.